In the rolling hills of South Africa's Cradle of Humankind, the Sterkfontein Caves are shrouded in both historical significance and eerie mystery. These ancient limestone caves have witnessed the dawn of humanity and are home to some of the oldest hominid fossils ever discovered. But beyond the scientific marvels, there lies another layer to these caves, a darker, more sinister presence that has captivated the imaginations of locals and visitors alike. It was a warm, sunny afternoon when a group of 5 friends decided to embark on an adventure to the Sterkfontein Caves. The group consisted of Alex, a history buff with a fascination for ancient civilizations, Lily, an aspiring archaeologist, Marcus, a skeptical scientist, Sarah, an avid photographer, and Tom, a thrill-seeker always on the lookout for the next adrenaline rush. They had heard tales of the haunted caves and were eager to explore the depths of their mysteries. As they drove towards the Cradle of Humankind, the landscape transformed from bustling cityscapes to serene, rolling hills dotted with ancient rock formations. The air was thick with anticipation, and the group chatted excitedly about the legends and ghost stories surrounding the caves. "Do you really think the caves are haunted?" Sarah asked, her camera ready to capture every moment. "Who knows?" Alex replied with a grin. "But it makes for a great story, doesn't it?" Marcus scoffed. "Ghosts are just figments of the imagination. There's a scientific explanation for everything." "Maybe, but sometimes it's fun to believe in the supernatural," Lily chimed in. "It adds a little thrill to life." Tom, who was driving, glanced at them in the rearview mirror. "Well, whatever we find, let's make sure we capture it all. Who knows, maybe we'll make history." As they arrived at the Sterkfontein Caves, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long shadows over the entrance. The air grew cooler, and a sense of foreboding settled over the group. They parked the car and made their way to the visitor center, where they were greeted by an elderly guide named Mr. Nkosi. "Welcome to the Sterkfontein Caves," Mr. Nkosi said with a warm smile. "These caves have a rich history, both scientifically and culturally. But be warned, there are legends of restless spirits that wander these ancient halls." The group exchanged curious glances, their excitement mingled with a touch of apprehension. "Restless spirits?" Alex asked, intrigued. Mr. Nkosi nodded gravely. "Yes, the locals believe that the spirits of those who perished here still linger. Some say they've seen ghostly figures and heard strange noises echoing through the caves." Tom's eyes lit up. "Sounds like just the adventure we're looking for." Mr. Nkosi chuckled. "Well, just be respectful of the caves and the spirits that may dwell within. Now, follow me, and I'll show you the way." The group followed Mr. Nkosi as he led them into the dark, cavernous entrance of the Sterkfontein Caves. The air grew cooler and more humid as they descended deeper into the earth. Their footsteps echoed off the limestone walls, and the sound of dripping water created an eerie ambiance. "These caves have been formed over millions of years," Mr. Nkosi explained. "They're home to some of the oldest hominid fossils ever discovered, including the famous Mrs. Pless and Littlefoot." As they ventured further, the cave opened up into a vast chamber adorned with stunning stalactites and stalagmites. The group marveled at the natural beauty, their flashlights illuminating the ancient formations. "This is incredible," Lily whispered, her eyes wide with wonder. "Indeed," Alex agreed. "It's like stepping back in time." Sarah snapped photos, capturing the otherworldly beauty of the cave. But as she focused her camera on a particularly striking formation, she felt a cold breeze brush past her. She shivered and glanced around, but saw nothing out of the ordinary. "Did anyone else feel that?" Sarah asked, her voice tinged with unease. "Feel what?" Marcus replied, his skepticism unwavering. "A cold breeze," Sarah said. "It felt like someone was watching us." Tom laughed. "Probably just your imagination, Sarah. These caves can play tricks on your mind." But Sarah wasn't so sure. She couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. As they continued their exploration, the sense of being watched grew stronger. The air seemed to hum with an unseen presence, and every so often, they heard faint whispers and distant footsteps. "Okay, this is starting to get creepy," Alex admitted, his usual bravado waning. Mr. Nkosi stopped and turned to face the group. "There's one more place I want to show you," he said. "But it's not for the faint of heart." Intrigued and slightly unnerved, the group followed Mr. Nkosi down a narrow passage that led to a small, secluded chamber. The air was heavy and still, and the walls seemed to close in around them. "This is where many believe the spirits are most active," Mr. Nkosi said, his voice barely above a whisper. It's said that those who linger here too long may catch a glimpse of the past. The group stood in silence, the weight of the moment pressing down on them. As they looked around the chamber, they noticed strange markings on the walls, ancient symbols and drawings that seemed to tell a story. What do these mean? Lily asked, her curiosity piqued. Mr. Nkosi studied the markings for a moment. These symbols are believed to be messages left by our ancestors. They speak of rituals, sacrifices, and the spirits that dwell within the earth. Suddenly, a chill filled the air, and the chamber was plunged into darkness. The group's flashlights flickered and went out, leaving them in pitch blackness. Panic set in, and they fumbled to turn their lights back on. "What's happening?" Marcus shouted, his voice echoing off the walls. Before anyone could answer, a faint, ghostly glow illuminated the chamber. The group huddled together, their hearts pounding as they watched in stunned silence. The glow grew brighter, and ghostly figures began to materialize before their eyes. They saw the spirits of ancient people, dressed in traditional clothing, performing rituals and dances. The air was filled with the sound of drums and chanting, a haunting melody that seemed to resonate with the very soul of the earth. The group watched, mesmerized and terrified, as the ghostly figures continued their spectral dance. Time seemed to stand still, and the boundary between the past and the present blurred. Suddenly, the ghostly vision faded, and the chamber was once again plunged into darkness. The group's flashlights flickered back to life, casting a dim glow on their pale, frightened faces. Did everyone see that?" Alex asked, his voice trembling. They all nodded, too shocked to speak. The silence was broken only by the sound of their ragged breathing. Mr. Nkosi stepped forward, his expression serious. "You have witnessed something few have ever seen. The spirits of Sterkfontein have revealed themselves to you. We must leave this place and show our respect." The group, still in a daze, followed Mr. Nkosi back through the narrow passage and into the main chamber. As they made their way to the surface, the sense of unease began to lift, replaced by a profound sense of awe. Once outside, they gathered in the fading light of the evening, the weight of their experience settling over them. The sun had set, and the stars began to twinkle in the night sky. "I can't believe what we just saw," Sarah said, her voice filled with wonder. "I don't know how to explain it," Marcus admitted, his skepticism shaken. "But it was real. We all saw it." Lily nodded. "The spirits were trying to tell us something. Maybe it's a reminder of our connection to the past, and the importance of honoring our heritage." Tom, usually the thrill-seeker, was uncharacteristically quiet. "That was the most intense thing I've ever experienced. And I've jumped out of planes." Alex, still processing the encounter, turned to Mr. Nkosi. "Thank you for guiding us. We won't forget this." Mr. Nkosi smiled, a glint of wisdom in his eyes. "The Sterkfontein Caves are a place of great power and mystery. You've experienced something truly special. Remember to honor the spirits and the history of this place." As they said their goodbyes and made their way back to their car, the group couldn't help but feel a deep sense of connection to the land and its ancient past. The adventure had been more than they could have ever imagined, a journey into the heart of mystery and wonder. The tale of their encounter with the ghosts of Sterkfontein Caves would be told and retold, a story that would captivate the imaginations of all who heard it. And as they drove away, the friends knew that they had been part of something extraordinary, a moment where the past and the present had converged, leaving an indelible mark on their souls. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the Ghosts of Sterkfontein Caves. If you enjoyed this spine-chilling adventure and want to explore more captivating stories, please hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling content. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring more stories to life. Stay curious, stay adventurous, and we'll see you in the next exploration.